Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. Yes, I am TK34 on Spotify, and we welcome you, and you. Today we're here on Numbers chapter 35, the 35th chapter of Numbers. Yes, and we're nearing the end of this book, and we will go along with the Deuteronomy after this. But anyway, let's pray. Oh, most holy, I am that I am. We thank you for everything that you've done. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for everything that you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for freeing some of us. We pray that our leaders, that they would change, but it seems like sometimes that prayer is just falling on deaf ears, and that you might raise up a military leader, that one that would take over and cause revolution. Yes, and not use this word coup, but a revolution that's about to happen throughout the continent and different parts of the world, that the people might prosper, that the people might be happy, that the people might have what they need, and the rich might not have no want. So most hopefully we ask you to deal. Yes, in your mighty name we ask you to deal in this land, north, south, east, and west. Yeah, wherever they may be, these oppressors, that the people might give some relief, that they might give some relief to their situation, because things are going haywire. And we pray to you that you might see us through these things. Yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And Numbers, the 35th chapter of Numbers. Now we're about to go, he's getting ready to give his last instructions to the Levites. Verse 1, And the I Am spake unto Moses in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they give unto the Levites of the inheritance of their possessions city to dwell in, and ye shall give also unto the Levites suburbs for the cities round about them. And the cities they have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle and for their goods and for all their beasts. Now these are beasts for sacrifice and beasts for eating. And it says, And the suburbs of the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites shall reach from the wall of the city to the outward 1,000 cubits or round about. In other words, from the city, you're going to go 1,000 cubits or however that might be, and you're going to go round about the city. And this is the city of the Levites. Okay? Verse 5, And ye shall measure from without the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city shall be in the midst, and this shall be to them the suburbs of the city. In other words, the Levites were the ones who had inherited the suburbs of these walled cities, just like Jerusalem. The Levites supposed to be around the walls of Jerusalem. Nobody but the Levites. For 1,000 cubits is the land of the Levites. Therefore, they can, do the things that they can do. Now, and among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levites, there shall be 6 cities for refuge. Ye shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee thither, and to them ye shall add 40 and 2 cubit and 2 cities. Now, this is what's happening with the manslayer. The manslayer who have killed one by mistake, who have deleted one by mistake. That is the man. It's not the murderer that killed or deleted out of malice in these cities. No, not by any means, not out of malice, but by a mistake. A tree fell and it hit a man, it fell on a man, or it could be something, the man tripped and fall and you pushed him, or maybe he tried to grab you and pushed him and he hit his head on a brick and his family is angry. Yes, this is going to happen. Families are going to get angry at this. And the cities which ye shall, in verse 8, shall give of the possession of the children of Israel, from them that have many, ye shall give many. But from them that have few, ye shall give few. Every one shall give of his cities unto the Levites according to his inheritance, which he inherited. Yes, and the I Am spake unto Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye become over Jordan, now these are for the tribes who's gone over Jordan, into the land of Canaan, then ye shall appoint you cities, and be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killeth any person at unawares. Now, this is what happened. He says which killeth any person he's not aware that he done it. It was a mistake. I mean, a true mistake, not just somebody lying. And they shall be unto you cities, in verse 12, for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer die not until he stand before the congregation in judgment. In other words, he has to have a fair trial. I mean, this is something that we don't know is true. He said he made a mistake, so we're going to have witnesses. We're going to have to this. We're going to give this man a fair trial. But those who have without a shadow of a doubt have murdered or killed or deleted a person, then they shall be deleted at that same time. Now, your cities and you're all over the world, these cities have joined into a liberal, some type of paganistic type thing, and then they say God is not fair. And that the one that deleted another person without a shadow of a doubt, they deleted a person, they stand a chance of living even in a prison is too much for God. God says delete them. I mean, here you are, you got this person that have suffered at the hands of another person, whether hideously or quickly or whatever. They did it out of malice. And the fact is that these people are allowed to live. In other words, what should happen to them should happen to them. And those that lie upon them, according as we have read in Exodus, that lie on them, if they lie and found that that person was guilty, those people shall suffer the same thing as those who they have accused falsely. Yes, speedily. So who is right? So that's let this world stand as wicked. That lets all the countries of the world stand as wicked. This is a money-making scheme. God never even instituted such a thing. And then you have those lands people, even in a certain country, that says, well, we're going to let illegal people in and they're going to go to cities of refuge. I mean, even profaning even the idea of the Most High. These people haven't done anything. They just come into the country. They don't need a city of refuge. This is for those who have deleted a person by mistake or they didn't know they did it. And it must be assessed by a jury and a judge. Yes. Now, you got to realize good is evil and evil is good. This is what they're doing. They're taking the things of God and making them just like Babylon. Even when he took the instruments and the things of God and he drank out of them and he thought he was God himself. And then there was a voice that came and a hand that wrote that says, Mene, mene, tekel, upharsin. In other words, he lost his whole kingdom. The same thing with you, countries that use this same ideology. Mene, mene, tekel, upharsin. You're weighed in the balance and found wanting. Yes, you are. Now, he said, if he smite with an instrument of iron so that he die, he is a murderer. Now, look, that's what he's saying. Look at here. This is what he's saying. If the man smite another man with an instrument of iron so that he die, he is, whether it's a projectile instrument or whatever, the murderer shall surely be put to death, is what he says. God ain't playing. God ain't no play. I don't know how you people listen to Western or whatever, Northern or Southern people, but God is not a play. Sanini Nanini is not a play. He's not one you can play with words because he knows your heart. Period. He knows your accountabilities, your people, and yourself. He knows your deceitfulness. He knows everything about you. But yet you pretend like he doesn't exist. And by your actions, you make others think that he doesn't exist either. But he's alive and he sees and he knows and he's going to do something about it. He has no to answer no man about what he does to another man. He doesn't answer to you. You answer to him. Yes. God does not answer to you according to how he's going to do a thing, how fast he's going to do it, or how slow he's going to do it. No, he doesn't answer to you. You're nobody. You're nothing. You're less than a nation. You're less than a drop in a bucket, even less than that before the Most High. Who are you to say, what are you going to do about this? No. He's charged you. He says this thing happened. You do it. Now, he says, now the revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer when he meeteth him, and he shall slay him. But if he thrust him of hatred and hurl him by laying of weight that he die, or in enmity smite him with his hand that he die, that he smote him shall surely be put to death. For he is a murderer, and the revenger of blood shall slay the murderer when he meeteth him. In other words, this is what they call vigilantism. This is what they call mobism. When these women used to holler out and call out and say a man molested them, and then next thing you know, you find out they lied. God said in Israel, this thing shall not be so. What he said? He said he is a murderer. In other words, you don't know the whole situation. You don't know whether that person is lying or not. You know, there's no evidence, and there's really nobody that really saw. Somebody said that 2-3 people said this fell on him, but yet it's got to be a committee that takes the word of these people. I said, this man didn't do nothing. He said timber, the tree fell on him. And he was just crazy anyway, or he was drunk. And the tree fell on him, and he was standing in the wrong place at the right time. Now, but if he thrust him suddenly without enmity, or have cast upon him anything without lying in wait, or with any stone wherewith a man dies, seeing him not, and cast it upon him that he die, and was not his enemy, neither sought his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the revenger of blood according to these judgments. In other words, God is fair. Your ways are not fair, O president, O judge, O enforcer. Your ways are not fair. Your laws are hideous. Your laws are sin. Your laws are wrong before the Most High. You do not have any, or should I say, people that have favoritism toward this, whether he be your own son. The law is the law, and this is a nation. This is not religion. This is a nation. This is a people. The laws are for this people. I don't know where you get this thing about religion. Israel is not a religion. It's a people who once had a country, who once had a place where the lawgiver was the Most High, even the creator of the universe. This was the law, period. And it never passes. And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whether he was fled, or he shall abide in it to the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. In other words, that's the only way he's going to be put out, unless he goes before a jury. This revenger of blood, he cannot touch a man who innocently, families are something else. Because God knows the wickedness of families. He knows the wickedness of some people. Families will go with the evil of a family member instead of putting God first and says, God be praised. This person was wrong. Because once a child get out of your jurisdiction, that child becomes a man, that child becomes a woman, and they're responsible for their own actions, not for your effeminate, should I say, feelings, or your nurturing feelings. No. That's not the way it goes with God. That's why you say, Messinus, said, he that loveth me, he said, if he that hate not his mother, brother, sister, father, whatever, he says, you're not worthy of me. Now, he was talking about God. He wasn't talking about himself. They have a way of infusing things and putting together whatever. Now, there was a deliverer. There was a prophet, according to Moses. There was one. And he was murdered. Yes, he was martyred. Martyred and murdered about the same thing anyway. But anyway, because he should have remained in the city of his, and he said in verse 27. Let's go 26. It says, but if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of his refuge, whether he was fled, and the revenger of blood find him without the borders of the city of his refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in the city of his refuge until the death of the high priest. That's the only way you can be forgiven as a person who murdered or who have killed a person by mistake, or it was something that you didn't know that he did, or he was standing in the way, you was driving a bulldozer and you happened to run over him because he was laying down and you can't see past the bucket. So these things in Israel was so. Now, and you're not free until the death of the highest priest. And if you step out of it, that's just your fault. You're going to be deleted. So these things shall be for a statute of judgment unto you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And he said these are the statutes. He's talking about in the land that you live. See, this is why we cannot do the things that we're supposed to do. This is why they cried when they got out of captivity to go back to Israel, because the fact is they could sacrifice. They could enact the laws and ordinances that God said. In the land of the heathen, in the land of captivity, or even if the land is captive, they do not follow the way of the world. Christianity doesn't follow the way of the Most High. No, it doesn't. Not in the least. Because it's the religion of the oppressor. It's the religion of the colonizers. It's the religion of those who have the spirit that carries even the chastisement of the Most High. And that spirit shall be destroyed. Yes. Because they're overstepping their bounds. Now, and ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land until the death of the priest. In other words, you can't come back and tell you. We know what happened. We know what's going on. We know this, but you cannot come back until the death of the high priest or the son of Aaron. Only the sons of Aaron can be that of the high priest. And God, they still living. You just don't know who they is. God have hidden them all. Yes. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for the blood it defileth the land. In other words, when you shed blood, it defiles your land. When somebody's murdered, nobody about who, unless they're filthy, unless they have murdered, unless they have killed, unless they have shedded blood, the land is defiled. Because you've taken the life, which the blood is, of a person, even he that is created after the image of the Most High, and then those that are created after the image of him that the Most High have made. That's man and woman. But by the blood of him that shed it. He said, it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. In other words, he said, you're going to have to be delivered. You're going to have to be killed so that your blood cleanse the land. Your blood has to drip to the ground to cleanse the land. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inherit, wherein I dwell, for I am among the children of Israel. This is not religion. This is a government governed by the most holy. Even Sanini Nini Tata and Zambi. This is the land. This is not a play. God is not playing with you. God just hid his face from you for a minute until he decides when he's getting ready to do with you what he's going to do with you. Nations, peoples, individuals, yes. And with that, I'm going to say, have a nice day and peace.